Hey.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing? So just so you know, you had a ton of people typing your name. Like, is she in here? Is she in here?
Okay, so this is the blogger event, correct?
Well, not technically. I literally just chose at the last minute today. Like, I'm gonna go live and come chit chat with everybody. So this is not that, but I love sharing. I love showing love to y'all. Y'all do so much. I don't think people understand. I want you to know I appreciate y'all. I don't think people understand what all goes into running a YouTube channel, watching the show, and managing all of that. So I appreciate y'all. The show appreciates y'all because y'all keep everything popping. So thank you.
So I have 3 questions. I was under the impression it was a blogger event, but I have 3 questions.
Okay.
If you're open to these questions.
Okay.
The first one is Stormi. Okay. So it kind of caught me off guard. I know people, they talk about a lot of things, but people were saying that they could sense there was a issue, I'm not sure if you noticed, between the two of you for a very long time. And I really did not see anything until I saw the thing on Twitter with her mother. Was there something brewing between the two of you before? Did you even know that was going down?
So you would come with a question in the video. So one thing I will say is make sure y'all tune in to the show this season for sure. Make sure you do that because, there's conversation and discussion and different things that occur that you got to see by way of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So without giving too much away, what I will say is I was not aware that there was an issue between she and I, you know what I'm saying? Or that there was tension or an issue, okay? In terms of her mother, I've only been around her mother a few times.
Okay.
So, I really don't have a comment in regards to her. I really don't. So, yeah.
Understood. Okay, then my next question is, did you see Carlos King's review of the reunion on Saturday?
I have not, but I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people have been DMing me saying I need to watch it. And it was really good. And it was very telling. So I literally, I've been busy and I had my kids up until today. So I haven't had a chance yet to watch it, but I'm going to just because so many people were like, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. Have you seen, I'm assuming you saw it.
I've seen it twice.
Okay. Think about it.
Well, Dustin Ross was guest for for his little YouTube channel. I shouldn't say little channel, but for his channel. And he is a millimeter, but he had such a great perspective about the show that I was like, why isn't he a producer? Because it was really like, wow, he could navigate a whole lot of things. And I think it was actually surprising to even Carlos to hear. But that was the first thing. So I was like, I wonder if you've seen it because a lot of things that people are complaining about, sometimes it comes out in a very emotional way, whereas Dustin was just able to say, this is what the viewer is actually watching. It's going down like this. Is anyone paying attention so that we can, get a different show?
Oh. Yeah, like I said, I definitely want to watch it because people were telling me I need to watch it. So I do want to watch it for sure. And I'm going to make sure I get it between today and tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I go over there and watch it. But I think that one of the things that happens with this show is that you have people who only see the show and that's all they see. Yeah. And they don't see or not privy to a lot of the things that happen outside of this show, right? Like social media and different things like that. And so sometimes when they see the show, they don't understand why things are feelings, emotions, or things are a certain way because they haven't been seeing what else has been going on.
Right.
So I think that that goes back to, in a way, us sort of getting the show under control, so to speak. Because if you're getting everything beforehand online, then what's the point of watching the show, right? So being very strategic when it comes to that, like I just said to you, there's going to be some conversations. Watch Love and Marriage Huntsville because we're going to end up talking, right? So, you know, it's definitely, when you talk about where the show needs to go, direction and ways to pull the rein in a little bit, I think a lot of that does deal with figuring out that thin line kind of between letting the show do what the show does and not everything being on social media. And so, yeah, I think there are some of us working towards that.
That's awesome. And he actually was very, very, like, had really nice things to say. So about everybody on the cast, actually.
Okay.
That's that. And then my second question is, if you did watch, you would have seen Carlos say a couple of times, me and Melody talk all the time. We kind of laugh about things that are, you know, going on social media because they may not always get it right. So my question is, do you have conversations with Carlos?
So I think that I've talked about this before, and I think he's even said it a few times. I don't know, he was doing something. I just know I've heard him say it, but I'm not that person who calls him all the time, and I'm not going to. And one of the reasons I don't is because I don't want people to feel that, oh, since she's a producer on the show and this is her baby, she's got Carlos's ear all day, every day. Okay. You know, first of all, I ain't got time to have nobody's ear all day, every day, because I got too many things I'm doing. And I have 4 children on top of that. So he said it. I said it. I'm not that person who calls him all the time. The keying that he and I have done is him sharing with me stories about the millimeters and how they don't play. Okay. Like, girl, they like the big hive. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I already know. He was like, Melody, I had somebody call. They went to the extent of Googling, finding my company number and leaving a voicemail. He said some older lady had left a voice message on his machine and was cussing him out, okay? So when he told me the story, I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? I do. But I don't have a whole lot of conversation with him or anybody for that matter, to be honest. But we do talk here and there when it's absolutely, you know, he knows, and I think he said this, if I reach out or if I hit him up, it's because it's serious. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just hitting up Carlos because I got his number in my phone. You know what I'm saying? I do.
Okay, well, those are 3. I could ask more if you'd like.
I think it's some more. I think those were 3 good questions, though, and I appreciate those questions. And hopefully, you know, I answered them in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. You knew what I was touching on.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. But how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm good. I can't complain. God is good.
I know that's right. I know you have, your time is limited. How was the kids enjoying their Christmas with you? Because I know you guys celebrated this week, right?
Yeah, we had a ball. A great time, good food, gifts, family, friends, making memories. That's what it's about. So we had a good time.
It's about.
Yeah.
That's good. So I have a couple questions in regards to the episode that we just seen with the reunion.
Okay.
So my first question, considering how the answer was met with, okay, so when Carlos asked Kimmy about, I'm sorry. First you had said what you said to Maurice about showing his appreciation or how he supports people. Sorry, I seen a comment and started reading what I was saying. When Maurice said that he supported you, and you said, yeah, make sure you show it. And Kimmy kind of came back at you about the comments that you made, even though it was in response to something someone else said. And I feel like a lot of times people forget that you're a responder. You're not really someone who starts anything. But where do you see yourself with Kimmy now? Did that interaction make you feel a different way towards her?
No. Kimmy and I, we still get along just fine. Our relationship still is the way it's been. And to be honest with you, and I've said this multiple times too, one of the reasons I think she and I have always been able to have a cool relationship is because we both understand we're both direct, we're both straightforward. We both, neither one of us will hold back, right? We're gonna keep it 100 at all times. And so she and I are in a place where have always been really very outspoken, very direct. And then when it's done, it's done. You know, it's done. And then you move on. So it's never, we don't ever have that time, or haven't had that time, even when all of us used to hang out all the time together. We didn't have time where there was like uncertainty on how we felt about each other, or if we were cool or not, or are you harboring these feelings that are brewing. And that's probably a reason we've been able to still be cool like we have in the midst of all of this, is because we say what we say. We feel comfortable saying what we have to say to each other because we're not easily offended and all in our feelings about it. We say it and we move on. So, yeah, after that, like, there, I mean, y'all will see, I just hosted something for her this season on the show. Y'all will see it. So, I mean, I'm not going to give much detail, but, you know, no, that was that. We said what we had to say. I shared what I felt and what I thought was wrong and what I thought shouldn't have been said. And then she said what she felt and kind of moved on.
That's awesome. I always felt like you guys were able, like you said, like you guys are able to find common ground and say what your issue is instead of harboring it and just taking out your actions towards each other. I always felt like you guys have always found a way to kind of get past things. So that's awesome. I like to hear that. My other question would be about these puppets. Mel, oh my gosh. So what are your thoughts now that it kind of came out? I know you did the Twitter question, the live feed with, you know, when the episode was airing and you was asking questions in regards to the reunion before it aired. So now that it has aired, what are like your opinions on it? What's your thought? What would you say about it? I mean, I know you can't give too much, obviously, because, you know, the reunion hasn't fully aired, but was there a response to it afterwards, or can you openly say like what your response would be?
Response from me?
Yeah.
No, y'all saw my response on the stage, right? Like,
and you had me crying when you said, "Can someone get her some kids?"
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really affect me one way or the other. Honestly, it was just like, you know, yeah. So there's response that you're gonna get from me about it, honestly, because it was just like,
I hear that. I think it was definitely a miss. And it was to me, if I want to take it to a psychological place, in a sense, the hairstyle, she could have done anything that could have been more relevant, like more recent. Even with the bob and the chains, we would have been able to identify. But to me, I feel like she's stuck in the place of season 1 where she has been harboring feelings towards you, and probably even before then. But the hairstyle for me told it all. And I just think that, you know, she is, and it's funny because Diana Rose had mentioned it, the guy Dustin Ross, he actually said that as well. And it was funny to hear. I did my review and then seen the interview, and he said the same thing. It just shows that you live rent free in her house, in her head. So I just want to say that's all I have. I know you have other people trying to come up. Keep doing what you're doing. You are an inspiration to many, many of us.
You know I ain't getting on here because I got a bonnet on.
okay, I saw you said I want to say something.
I do want to say something for every demon, 5 blessings.
That's right.
And you definitely have displayed that. You know, I just really want to say that, you know, my perception of the show is that you've been used as a human shield. You know, people can say whatever it is that they want to say about you, but we still don't know much about them. We know a lot about you. And no matter what, you know, no matter what anybody tries to say on the show, if it wasn't for you being a sacrificial lamb, a lot of people wouldn't still have a job. They wouldn't still have a job because we are still stuck on season 1, and you moved past all of the seasons and you superseded them as well. Okay. So you know, there's a lot of in my perception, there's a lot of outdated subjects. There's a lot of outdated arguments. And iron sharpens iron. So as long as you're being used as a shield, you're going to continue to become stronger. You're going to continue to excel. And like I said, for every demon, 5 blessings.
Yep.
And I love you. You know, you're a great friend to me. And I look forward to watching and continuing, you know, just observing your growth.
Yes, yes.
You know, and one thing about it, God don't bless no mess.
Mm-hmm.
So your life today is a reflection of your heart and a reflection of what it is that you've given to the same people who want to come up against you. You know, and that just shows, and that's a testament of how powerful you are. You know, you've had every man, woman, and child on that show, besides the Eminem kids, my babies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you've had every man and woman on that show come against you, but you still have persevered.
Yeah.
You still have been an example. You still have shown up, showed out, and you still are soaring. You're still flying, and you're still growing. And you know, I love you. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, thank you. See,
and we was having a good conversation, so call me when you get off.
I'm going to call you when I get off. I promise.
And I have been a fan since season 1, episode 1. So I do have a few questions. First of all, how are you? How are you doing? How is your mental health? Everything.
You know what? I appreciate that. I am doing well. You know, thankful you guys just heard from my prophetess. Of course, I've got my mother. I've got my close friends that I've had for many, many years. I've got my babies. And so prayers of strangers, people like you who I've never even met. So that definitely keeps me on the battlefield real strong and tough.
Yes.
Not so much. And I think that the reason I opt to share my good and my bad days, and I've done that since day 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So let's be very honest about that. Y'all have seen raw emotion. Y'all have seen me throwing stuff. Y'all have seen me throwing clothes, going off. Then when I'm happy, y'all have seen me happy, right?
Yes.
So I've always opted to share all of me. And I think that's one thing that the people love is the authenticity and the transparency. And for me, when I have a bad day, I let y'all know that too. You know, when I'm having a good day, y'all gonna see that too. I'm gonna give y'all that part of me. So, but I'm doing very well. You know, I'm doing very well. God is good. I feel great. It is important, you know, to surround yourself with people who, you know, can be there to lift you up when you have those moments when you may feel down.
Yes, yes. Well, that is good to hear. And you know what? It translates. Your transparency translates. And that's what I think that the majority of us that root for you, support you, you know, we all have our flaws. We all have our days, all of that.
Yep.
And it just resonates with so many of us. And yeah, I just love you. Now, I do have a quick question, and I don't expect you to go into details, but can you let us know, are you still in the midst of fighting for custody for your kids, or have you guys come to an agreement? It, you know, on the outside looking in, it seems like it may have gotten better since the summer, but we really don't know. Is that something that you can share, or is that something that will come out on the show, or?
So it's not going to be necessarily anything that comes out on the show, because that's not, I mean, from the beginning, that's not been something that I've been interested in or even share or discuss. I can't tell you how many times I was asked to talk about that. And my like, yeah, no, I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
And towards the very end, I gave just a little bit. But what I will say, the only thing I will say is it's still ongoing.
Still ongoing. Okay.
But I just want to, I'll get my questions in. So I don't know if anybody else knows this, but OWN made a mistake and they posted episode 2 today by accident.
Oh, a part 2 of the reunion?
They did. They took it down, but I saw it.
Oh.
I'm not going to reveal anything, but there was one thing that I did want to talk about, not in depth, but there was a moment where you said, you know, I really want you guys to start talking about yourself. Like, you talk about me all the time, talk about yourself. And we talk about that all the time.
Look, I remember some of the stuff I said up there. I said on Melody. Is it anything else?
Yeah.
About?
I'm like, on my channel, I sing a song. I'd be like, damn, y'all always talking about Mel. Dang. So I
said something like, hold on, let me go. I said clock in and clock out on Melody. God damn.
Yes.
And all kinds of, did they show all that?
Did. So I said, my question to you is, well, you said you haven't seen it, but did they respond as to, you know, and do you see now that you guys are filming now, them kind of moving into talking more about their own storylines? Like, are they going to be pushed?
You know, here's the thing. So I haven't seen the reunion because we see it, even the episode. So I don't know what's there. I know what I said, but I ain't know that's how they show it.
Right.
And then I don't film, like, all of us aren't a part of every scene, so we don't know what people are talking about or what they're filming. You just know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what people are talking about.
Got you. Okay. Another question I had, it's been all over the blogs like a while ago that you and your mom purchased a bulk load of land of some sort. Did you guys purchase some land together? And with the new renewal of the builder's license, should we expect to see you building more on your own land or some new things to come?
So I'm definitely going to be doing some new things. I renewed it because I get DMs all the time from people who already own land they inherited, and they're like, Mel, can you build for me? Can you do this? And I was like, but you know, I like to get to my coin.
Right.
So I was like, let me go ahead and get my builder's license. Because the fact of the matter is, when it comes to building anything commercial, residential, you have the license, and what you do is you subcontract everything out. So you hire a licensed foundation specialist that has to get inspected by the city before it's passed to the next piece. Your plumbing, your front, all this stuff that happens, right? So you don't necessarily have to get in and necessarily get your hands dirty. You just got to know what makes sense, what doesn't, how it's supposed to go, oversee that, and get the sign-offs through each step of the process. And a lot of people don't either, but that's how it literally works, right?
Okay.
So no, my mother and I did not purchase any land together. She sold a large amount of land, and that's where that narrative came from, was from her, the big sale she did.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, but the license is gonna, you know, it's gonna be big thing.
Look, soon as I posted that I was renewing it, my DMs flooded immediately. So now I'm actually gonna do something. So I do like a Mel's Money Making Monday here and there, and so I'm going to do something Monday for y'all to help me come up with a name for my home building company, and we're gonna see what we got, because I gotta get moving. I gotta get that moving, trademark, website, all this stuff.
Awesome.
Already hitting me up.
That is so dope. Okay, well, one of my last questions, because you know, I know people always asking you about Tisha and all of them. Like, I mean, I know you don't. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's old. It gets old. But I do notice that, you know, in the past, kind of referencing her a little bit, you helped her with the podcast. You helped her kind of try to get out of Marcel's shadow with just being a mom, and she started doing speaking engagements, things like that. But we don't really see her doing those things anymore. But we see you doing, you know, 7th Avenue. You're doing your classes, teaching people how to make money. You're traveling. You're schmoozing in the rooms with the right people. And one thing I always say on my channel too, you have the it factor. It can't be taught. It's not something that can be manifested. You know, it's something that people just have, and you have it. So my last question refers to 7th Avenue, because listen, y'all, this might be a 7th Avenue commercial. I love the products. Your products are so amazing. Are you planning on shopping the product around to get it to big boxes? You know, are you planning on trying to get it in Walgreens, Walmart, you know, places like that?
I appreciate the support. You know, I think one of the key things is for sure, for one, me being a person who doesn't like to just put out anything, and then working with a Black female chemist, of course, too, right? She and I have had an amazing working relationship since, 2017 maybe. So still continuing to work with her has been great. So I got to shout her out. But no, I'm actually not interested in doing that right now.
Okay.
At all. You know, this is what I will say. Sometimes people look at things as, oh, where if you're in these spots, that speaks volumes, right? But it looks good, right? But whenever you really look at the business behind the scenes piece of it, I mean, for me, I'm not willing or interested right now to give up a large percentage of what I make on something that I can do myself. I mean, I'm on a show, so I have people who automatically come to my page, go to my site anyway. And I keep much more of a profit that way. Gotcha. So I don't really care about the whole look piece. Like, just for me, I don't care about the look piece of it to be like, oh, you know, I'm in Sally's, or I'm in, you know, Walgreens, or, you know, I care more about my bottom dollar.
I'm gonna sneak one more question in, because I had to talk about 7th Avenue because I love it, but I do want to ask this one thing. Okay. Everybody is talking about Stormi paying Carlos to get on the show. Do you know anything about that, or if that's true? Because it seems like from what we've seen, it's like at first she seemed like a really cool person, like we really gave her a chance, but then it's like she's so successful, but she has like a thirst for the it factor, to be seen, and that's okay too. But it just seems like she's doing all these things, putting herself in all these different situations to be seen. She's not showing up right.
You have something about that, honey.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to know, because she might have tried to take a little page out of your book, get the right meetings. You know, it don't seem like she got it right the first time because her show didn't get picked up. But I digress. But, you know, thank you so much for having me on. I am so excited. Thank you so much.
Did you have a great Christmas with the M&Ms?
I did. Yes, ma'am. How was your New Year? Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you. It was good. I had fun. But I have more fun watching Sugar Mama. She was looking with that fire. She did her thing, honey.
Yeah. She has a lot of personality.
And we know she was talking by the age of 2, but I digress. I'm not trying to be messy, but I do have a couple of questions for you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. My first question is, and I am with the other blogger that just ended hers. We're really hoping that next season does not show Mel. We are over it. We're tired of it. It's been 2.5 years. That person exists for the children's purpose. We're sick of it. And I'm not sure if you had answered the question. I was still at work. Where are we going to see less of that and more of the business aspect, like when you guys first started?
So I was saying earlier, I don't know what everybody else is filming. I can say for me, my focus is definitely more of that. You know, I started out this season on that business, entrepreneurship, real estate, community give back. That because that's me in real life. I don't live a life of every day of drama. And so I think everyone from the execs down are in a place where they're like, you know what, we want to get back to this part of it. So, you know.
Okay. Well, we're hoping because we are over it. We're over the extras that, you know, came in supposed to be there and do your little part, but now you're taking it too far when it comes to certain things. My question is, we are hearing rumors, and if you can confirm or not confirm, the people that has been causing the drama, that has been difficult to work with, can you tell if they're coming back or not?
Who are you talking about?
I don't like to call people's name, but it starts with a D and a W.
Let's do one at a time.
Okay, so will Destiny be back this season?
I have no idea. Contrary to popular belief, I don't really be worrying about what people doing and what they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, so you don't know what's going on with them, because again, this was the reason why the Millimeters was in such uproar and disdain about the whole.
Well, that was one person. If you want to go to the second person, we can go to the second person.
Now, is Wanda coming back, Mel? Is she coming back, honey?
And that, what I will say is, I'm not 100% sure. I can only go off of, what has been communicated to me once everything went down concerning the kids and stuff. Based on that, I would say no. But I don't know. I don't watch. It's not a thing where I'm calling somebody every week saying, hey, you keeping your word about this, or you said this and this what it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't do that. So I really don't be minding these folks. I got too many.
It's for us though, Mel, as we're huge supporter. We're not just fans. We're huge supporters of you, Mama Van, and we love you guys dearly. We love the M&M kids and no other. And I'm saying that with a straight face. We love the M&Ms and no other. Okay? Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we're not being gypped or, being led to believe that the show is going to go into the direction that we would love to see it go. We're sick of some of the stuff. And my next question is, we know that another cast member, Mother, I still don't want to call anyone's name, is doing a lot now on social media. We're hoping that we don't see this person on the show, but do you think they might be on the show?
I have no idea.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Oh.
Tell y'all what I do. I film my life and what I got going on. I film my life and what I got going on. There's some things I film with other people, of course. And I don't make calls trying to figure out who's filming with who or who had a scene today or who. I do not care. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
I have no idea.
I know we have a lot of Millimeters and a lot of bloggers probably waiting, but I do have one more question. Will you be filming with any of the cast members besides me, Kimmy and Kiki?
Who?
Kimmy and Kiki.
I just dropped a video of my community event, and y'all saw Louis, Tiffany, Chris Fletcher, Stormi, her husband. There were, people there. So, yes.
Okay. All right. Will you be doing any more interview? Because Mel, you have my subscribers going up from 540 to 3,600, honey. Will you?
Oh, yay! I don't know. I may do something after the 3-part reunion.
All right. Thank you. We're looking forward to that. Thank you again, and we love you, Mel.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay. She was sweet, wasn't she, y'all? I'm here for the people who are like, I'm using 7th Avenue. Boom. Let me get me another little mini ice cream sandwich tray. I need that in my life. Yes, God.
Hey, Melody. I'm in my closet. I'm hiding from my dogs. So let me know when you are ready, honey, because I had to jump in on this one.
Okay, how you doing, honey? I'm sitting over here. I told them I feel like I'm having conversation with my family. We sitting around talking, and I'm eating mini ice cream sandwiches now. Okay.
You are with family, because, honey, let me tell you, I do not play behind you. I do not. And neither do a lot of bloggers on YouTube. There are some very heavy hitters. We just love you. Mm-hmm. And, while I was listening to the questions of the other bloggers, I was like, what is it about her? Because actually what I do for a living is I'm a product manager. I develop products. I was like, if I'm looking at her as a business, what is it about her that pulls so much dynamic energy and just makes a splash in the market? And then I said, well, she's relatable. That's
Aw,
the first thing. You're relatable.
thank you.
And she treats people like human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you have to agree to disagree, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen different cast members, they go there on social media. But if you are building a brand, and if you are building sustainability, and when we talk about profit and margin and going from being good to great, you can't go there. You cannot coach women out on the internet.
Yeah.
As much as you want to, and I'm not saying they don't have a right to, but when I think about what separates you from the rest and what drives this force and this energy behind you, there we have it.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, there we have it. Yeah.
thank you so much. I appreciate that because, you know, a lot of times what I see, because, you know, I get good DMs and I get ugly DMs too, right? But sometimes, I ain't even gonna say a lot of times, but because, to be honest, my supporters far outweigh the negative Nancy's. But sometimes I feel like people project how they view me. I've never said I was perfect. I've never said that I have all the answers. I've never said any of that. But I literally will have people to say, oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, she thinks she's perfect. No, you think that about me because and that's what you're projecting your thoughts onto me. I don't feel that way. I know that I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, you know, just sharing just the whole piece of the relatability aspect and being human and treating everyone, you know? So thank you. Y'all, this
Absolutely.
You know.
My question to you is this. Because I think you have two seats at the table, depending on which hat you decide to wear on what day. Like as an executive producer, but you're also a cast member, right? So that's a fine line. And I don't think people really understand what that means and how you have to toggle between the two switches. It's like notification on, notification off, right?
Yeah.
So based on you sitting in the middle and having to turn your expert hat to the back, depending on what your role is that day, as a cast member, from a perspective of a cast member, do you think Carlos King has the propensity to play both sides?
I think we all do. Absolutely. Absolutely. And to speak to what you're saying in terms of at times me having to be, I'm in the cast member role because I'm a part of the show and then I'm a producer. So I'm also, you know, I would say sometimes I feel like more weight put on you because you are a producer. And so there's an expectation, right? So I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you one example, then I'm going to let that go.
Okay.
One example. It was maybe 2 seasons ago, maybe. Do you guys remember there was a brown skin girl event that Tisha did? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? Okay. So before that event, the day of that event, before that, there was a scene being filmed here at my home with my kids, my girls, right? And I was, you know, doing some things to their braids and hair. And the showrunner of the show is the person who pretty much they yay nay stuff before they got a budget. They gotta stick in that budget. They running the show, right? The showrunner. And there was a time where they wanted her to call me to invite me and my children me and my girls to the event that was happening that day. She refused to do it. So the showrunner was like, F it, I'm canceling the event. It ain't no event. When he has the right to be able to do that, right? So me putting on that producer hat, I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, let me call her. So I go to my backyard, I call her, no cameras, no nothing. Hey, look, what you're trying to do, this event is bigger than any little beef, little drama, little whatever. Really, this gives you an opportunity to really show the importance of us embracing our color and who we are as Black women. Like, don't allow no little petty stuff to cause your event not to happen. Like, that's bigger than all this little stuff. These girls learning this and this, right? And so it was, well, why you can't call me? And I'm like, just make the call and invite. Like, it's not that this is bigger than that, right? And so there are times and have been times when I have literally done that. And I think now what you guys see seasons later is me getting to the place where I'm getting tired of being that person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what is the result of that? Yeah. It still ends up being the same old, but she doing this, or she wants to start this with me, and so it's just this one where you like, forget it. Like, I brought up on the reunion, I know part 1 that aired, there was a scene that didn't air. I think it was last season. Girl, by this time we should be season 7, so it's confusing. But we kind of wrapped it with a scene at my office. This was whenever I ended up being called a bad mom. Martel ran out, whatever. And, we were all there in the office. I don't know if y'all remember that. Mariah cried.
Yeah.
Anyway, that scene, I literally gave everyone a gift that represented their company, color-wise, branding-wise, all of that. And so when I gave them beautifully wrapped, like I paid somebody to wrap it, real pretty, bows, ribbon tied, beautiful. Gave everybody a gift and told them, hey, I'm giving you this because it represents da-da-da-da-da. Proud of you. Hoping to see you take over the world. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Keep striving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did that. It didn't air, but I did that. And everyone on that stage at that reunion remembered that I did that. But then after I did that, I was still marked as a bad, mean, bully, mean girl, da-da-da-da. So it gets to the point where you like, forget it. Shit. If whatever I do in terms of trying to move forward ends up biting me in the butt anyway, then why keep doing it? So, but I do at times move from cast member to producer and try to make, or I have in the past, and try to make sure that people understand the bigger picture of it. And it's just not something I care to do anymore like that.
I think, when I look at you from start to finish, and I'm looking at it from a product side, I think you've tried to save a lot of people, and it's not your job to save them. It's their job to save themselves.
Yes.
I can throw you a life raft, but I can't get in a boat and swim. And I think over and over, just for me, from a psychological perspective, you jumped in the boat, you swim, you tugged, and you pulled. And sometimes when you become so involved and so engulfed, people take that for granted.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I love the fact that you came, bossed up, direct, no hose barred. It is what it is today. And don't shake my hand today, Carlos. I said what I said. I don't give a damn.
I said what I said.
I don't give a damn what these people have going on, because when I did, it was not valued.
Yeah.
It was not recognized. It was not acknowledged. So what I'll do from here on out is produce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is produce.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. My last question.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about, or have you ever considered cutting the cord right where you are, contractual wise, based on your mental health?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thought about it. I've had conversations with the people who are closest to me about it. Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. I've had those kinds of conversations for sure. I think whenever it's time, I'll feel that peace about it where I won't even have to have a conversation. So for example, before I decided that I wanted to change my last name back to my maiden name, people used to ask me all the time, are you going to change your name? Are you going to change your name? And I was like, no. Why? I have 4 kids with this last name. Why? There's no reason to. I was married. I got 4 kids. Da, da, da. Well, the moment that it dropped in my spirit, change your last name, which I'm still waiting to do, but at least branding wise, I've started it. But when it dropped in my spirit, when I called my manager, I didn't call and ask her, what did she think? I called her and said, hey, I'm going to change my last name. Right? That was it. So when I feel the peace in my spirit, and I'll be honest, I haven't always been the best at trusting my intuition, trusting spirit. That's something we all daily should be growing to get to that place where we trust us like we trust nobody else. where we trust what we feel before we trust what somebody tells us, right? So in my growth journey in that, whenever I feel in my spirit, like I felt God said go, and I walked away with a 3-month-old baby, not knowing what next looks like, and contrary to what the people would love to believe, at the time I knew nothing about another child. At the time when I left, I knew nothing about another child. So people love to make themselves feel better, I guess. Oh, that was her deal breaker. I didn't even know about it, right? And even in that summer, all into the summer, I left in April, all into the summer, it was still being said, I ain't got no baby on the way. So there was still no proof that there was one, and I still wasn't going back. Wasn't going back. And, you know, I didn't know what next looked like, but I knew I didn't even have any proof or evidence at that time that he was still cheating. I didn't have none. But when God said go, I literally, when I felt it, I'm out. Can't do it. Gone, right? So growing to trust yourself, your intuition, especially as a woman, because we know men will use words to sway us one way or the other. A lot of times men will use sex to sway you one way or the other. They feel like they got that. They put it on you real good. You ain't going nowhere.
Hold on now, Melody. You had me thinking back, but go ahead.
You know, but when you learn to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, it don't matter what anybody else thinks, what anybody else says, how anybody else feels. And that is a bomb place to be in. I have so many people who feel like they should tell me how I should treat certain people, certain friendships, certain whatever, certain workships. I really don't care what you got to say, because I trust me now. I trust my gut now. I trust my intuition now. So really don't matter what you say. And that's a wonderful place to be in. It's peaceful. I feel good. I wake up feeling good. And I wake up knowing that at the end of the day, I'm trusting me. And I'll bet on me any day of the week.
Girl, you done preached this church house down. Y'all better pass that offering plate by way of badges in the chat. Melody, I love talking to you. I'm going to stick to my 3-question limit. I'm not going to push the envelope, although I would love to. You are amazing. God bless you. Thank you for all that you do for us. And hopefully you have another opportunity to take one more. Thank you.
I don't think I have a question to really ask. I really want people to think about what they say about Carlos King, okay? Because, you know, a lot of people, they have their opinion. I get it. They say that he's messy. But at the same time, Carlos King helped you a lot with this show, correct? Mm-hmm. So the reason that we met you is because of his help with you, right? Him helping you.
Right.
So I want people to think before they say that Carlos is trying to be Andy Cohen. Because I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, Andy Cohen not get on that plane flying to Atlanta to meet with the housewives the way Carlos get on the plane and fly to Huntsville all the time. So it's we always have to do twice as much work just to get the credit. So I definitely want to give Carlos his flowers too, because I mean, when it's all said and done, we're entertained.
Right.
And I have people ask me all the time, are you team male, team such and such? I ain't know nobody team. I'm team the show, because I believe what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Even if you do something that I don't agree with it, I mean, I'm going to say the same thing to you. Like, for example, I feel you was a little shady when you said, when Martel was like, he never been on a yacht. You was like, oh, you never been on a yacht? Welcome. It was a little shady, but it was funny, though. It was funny. It was funny.
So, first of all, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not removed from having my shady moments. Let's be clear. Y'all have seen me shady starting from season 1, when I would say little stuff. That hasn't gone. Like, that's still there. It may come out a little nicer, a little like, well, welcome. But who getting offended by that? If you getting offended by that,
that was funny, Mel.
lighten up, you know what I'm saying? And laugh about it. Get your little humor in.
Also,
you know?
the Silver and Anonymous, I got to ask you, because they told me to ask you this question. Okay. Did you get legs, hips, and breasts from them, or did you come up with that?
So, you know, where I heard it from, I don't know if somebody DM'd it to me or what, but when they it stuck with me, honey, it sure did. It sure did. And so somebody said it or sent it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Well, it originally came from the Silver.
And shout out to them.
Shout out to the Silver and Anonymous. The Silver, it came from them.
Okay.
So,
I'm here for
to be honest, Mel, I really think you strategizing for your exit.
Okay.
I think you are. I mean, you are a producer. I want to say some questions because I'm gonna get an interview with you, so I'm not gonna ask too many questions.
Okay.
Me and your mom already been talking. Whoever represent her, we talk. Hopefully, we might get the interview at the end of the month.
I only have 2 questions to ask you.
Okay.
You might not answer the first one.
Well, you know I'm good, honey. I don't want to answer. I will.
Mel, who's that man arm around you? You in love?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ain't telling you who it is, though. I ain't telling y'all who it is at all. No, ma'am. But what's so crazy, thank you for asking that, honestly, because I got wind of some of the most, this is what I'm going to say. I am learning that there are some people who missing some screws in real life.
Oh, I told you to.
I got wind that somebody said that was my son. It just crazy. Okay, I can't even say the stuff I really want to say. I'm like, who? Do they really think people be doing stuff like that? Like, that's stupid to me. Like, what? But what's so funny about it all is the people who know me in real life and know us in real life, we all laughing about it too, because we like, if I ever decide to drop all these pictures from the vacations and from the, you know, dinners and things like that, they gonna be like, they gonna come up with something else, but they gonna look stupid. But then they something else, I'm sure. But it's just like, now y'all stop. Now y'all know I ain't gotta pretend to have a man. But I ain't telling y'all who it is either. I'm kind of I told y'all before, I don't care to have anybody who's in entertainment. Yeah. And I definitely want to be able to have my private life more private than how I came out on reality TV, which is very public. Mm-hmm. So I've given a little bit, just so y'all know I'm good over here. Mm-hmm. But no.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. And I want to tell you this.
Somebody said, I knew you wasn't going on vacation alone. Okay, now let me be clear. I vacations alone before I got into a relationship with him. I did a lot of vacations by myself. That's not a lie. That's the truth. And I loved it. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my me time. I enjoyed traveling by myself. I enjoyed all of that. So please don't take this and say, oh, see, she was. No, I wasn't. I was really traveling by myself. So, yeah. But we have taken vacations together, too.
Yes. So I do have some good questions I wrote down right quick.
Oh, let's get into it. Come on now.
Let's do that thing. All right. So, first question.
They said you the truth, just so you know. When they said, there go our girl, they said you the truth.
Oh, I be reading and dragging on my page. Mm-hmm. I do. I give Wanda hell. I do.
They said, somebody said, I love this lady.
I be giving hell on my page. Yes, I do. But let me ask a question. Will we see less of Wanda this coming season after the whole Madani situation with the bullying and the whole altercation? Are we going to see less of her? Because I know since the Madani situation, we have not really seen her on the actual episodes after that.
Right. So somebody kind of asked me a little bit about that earlier.
Uh-huh.
I don't do a lot of questioning or try to really keep up with like that. Who's filming, who's not. I just do my work, right?
Right.
But going off of what was shared with me prior to this new season, the answer would be less. You're correct. So, you know, what that looks like, I can only go by what people say.
Right.
Keep it the word. We'll see, you know what I'm saying? But that's what has been shared.
Because according to her, the ratings don't go up unless she's on, which we know that's total lies.
Well, I think if we probably went back and started comparing the ratings from season 1, I think there was an A and a B.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she was a part of that or not, actually.
Right.
We used to have like millions of viewers. Like we used to hit the million for sure. So
we knew it was lies. I just wanted to clarify that so that everybody that's watching can actually see that, because I actually talked about it in my live.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can we get more scenes in the upcoming season where we're talking more about the business aspect of you guys on Love and Marriage Huntsville versus, the drama and the fighting and the, you know what I mean? Because that's really what the whole premise of the show was about in the beginning, right?
Absolutely. I think that's what everybody is, production wise, upper production, down. I think that's the goal. I can say for me, that's definitely where I am. I don't get to determine what's aired and what's not. But for me, in my mental space, I literally have been trying to be on more business, what that looks like, what everybody else is doing, I don't know.
Because we hear a lot of the people on the cast talking about all the businesses and stuff that they have going on, but we don't see it on the show. We would like to see that more. Right. Yeah. How are you and Martel doing with the co-parenting? And are you guys in the middle of your child custody case? Can you answer that?
We are still.
You are still. Okay. And how are you guys co-parenting with that going on?
I mean, kind of what it had been, honestly, for a while. His time with them is his time. My time with them is my time. And that's just what it is. It's no gray area.
Right. Because I know with you announcing you have a new man getting your back cracked over there, Mal. How is that now? I mean, because we know how Martel kind of acts when he, kind of doesn't get his way. Is he kind of acting differently now that you've announced that you have a new man now? Is that an issue with him now that you've announced that?
I'm not,
because we saw how he was still a little chummy, on the Destin vacation, guys.
Yeah,
he was really on his get back.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna answer that right now. If I decide to reveal it, I'll reveal it. I ain't gonna answer that question right now.
Okay. Well, I got more. I got one. I got another one. Okay, so is Carlos King going to be a little more mindful this coming season in terms of bringing randoms on the show? We call him Basement Billy. We don't really give him the clout. Do you know who we're talking about when we say Basement Billy?
I've heard.
Okay, Scott. He's a Scott brother.
I don't. Honest with you. Honestly, I don't really have a lot of conversations with people about who's filming. That's why I don't see or know stuff till y'all see it, and me too on the show when it shows. Because
it was kind of I think shocking to the fans that you and your mom didn't know that he was actually coming on the show. A lot of us kind of upset at the fact he came on and why he was coming on the show. I think that was kind of shocking and upsetting to the fans. That he had a spot on the show just to come on there to talk about that. We thought that was kind of low-key bullying, and that allowed him a platform to do that. So we were wondering, is that going to be a repeat in the upcoming season?
I would say no.
Good. Okay. Good.
Everyone is wanting things to get back to business, the real estate aspect, and more positivity.
Great. Well, that's what we want to hear. And also, we like seeing Kiki on the show. She's a great addition. So she's going to be seen more, because I think she said in the reunion or something that she was going to be seen a little bit more in this upcoming season as well.
Again, that's another. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be difficult with my answer. I don't know how much she's filming and who she's filming with. I don't know. Like, I promise.
Because we would rather see her, and no shade to Tiffany and her husband Lewis. I think we would rather see maybe another couple over them, because I don't feel like they kind of gave what they needed to give this particular season. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Tiffany I don't think they kind of gave what they should have given this season in terms of it being, you know, something that we would want to kind of look at on the show.
Gotcha. Well, you know, there are people in higher places that make those decisions about who comes on, who doesn't, who makes the cut, who doesn't. I'm not privy to those conversations. I don't try to get in those conversations. I don't really be caring. I just be over here doing my work and doing my business and minding my business.
Hey, and that's how it's supposed to be. Well, that's all the questions I have, really.
All right. So listen, y'all have been amazing. I've enjoyed y'all so much. Y'all have been great. I hope y'all have had a good time. Hope y'all saw some of your favorite YouTubers and bloggers tonight. Hopefully y'all did. I was only gonna be on here for an hour, y'all. We've been on here for 2 already. I appreciate all y'all who support, because I know y'all all put in a lot of work. And so, you know, y'all help make the show great, help keep people talking about it, help keep people watching. So we appreciate y'all so much. But I love y'all so much. I'm about to go. Hope y'all have an amazing week, and I will talk to y'all next time.